Hi, Thomas.
Hi, good morning, Louis. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. I got your message. I was in the pool and I didn't want to call you because I figured you're probably asleep.
No.
We're always recording. We're recording everything. No one gets away without recording.
Fantastic. I'm going to pull up another screen because I'm just finishing off the key points I want to make, Thomas.
Okay. Since it's not public, I can finish my breakfast here real quick.
Hey, Brother Tim.
Hi, how are you doing, Tim?
Brother Lou, Brother Thomas, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Did you
Wonderful.
Did you see Kathy Sudeikis is going to join us, Tim?
I did see that.
Okay,
It's
good.
ever evolving.
Yeah, you can introduce her as well.
This time
Okay.
coming.
Okay, looking good.
Not quite sure.
Good morning, Charlie.
Morning.
Hi, Diana.
Hi. Timothy. Lou.
Hey, Diana, how you doing?
I'm fine. I'm in wonderful health.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
My goodness, look at you.
And I'm going to be 70 this year.
Oh, this is a big decade.
Young lady, you're a young lady.
This is a big decade. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
In advance. Happy birthday.
Healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Looks like Dr. Rafai is with us as well.
Yeah.
Taleb, how are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much.
Don't put
Hi.
the camera on.
I'm glad you're here. Can you please tell me how to pronounce your last name?
Right.
Put the camera on.
It's
Right.
better. Yes,
Right?
I think yes, right. The best way is to call Muhammad because it's the universal name, so everyone can pronounce that name.
I'm
Muhammad.
embarrassed. I did have it right, but I wanted to make sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay.
We have another lady. That's good.
Who's the other lady? Who's the other lady? Who is she?
Is that the Australian chapter? Yeah, I think so.
Is that Gail?
Looks like it.
I don't know if am I in there?
Yeah, we can see you.
I can't tell if I'm in.
Oh.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour from France.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Good morning.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
So happy
Taleb.
to have you with us, Mr. Francois.
Merci, thanks.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
All these happy, smiling faces.
Of course.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yes, sir.
It's nothing we can do other than smile these days.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good evening from South Africa. Here down here.
Oh,
Hello, South Africa.
good
How are you?
evening, Sister Ramaway.
Good evening.
Talk about smiles. Look at that smile.
Beautiful smile. As all South African ladies.
Yay.
Yes.
It's in the evening here. It's 9 o'clock. So
It's 9 o'clock here too. I'm calling you from Jordan.
yeah, it's been a
Jordan.
You're back in Jordan. Oh, yeah.
I'm back in Jordan. Yes, I made it.
Oh, good.
I went to vaccine today.
Oh,
All
good.
right.
Very good. Very good.
Yes, sir. That's good.
I hope everything goes okay.
Very good.
It's important.
Well,
I
I'm
got
not
mine
sure.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You're looking
Oh,
good.
okay.
You're looking good. Good.
All right. We have a lot of people
Everybody,
who are
all
going to
the
be
people that
joining us
just joined
today.
us.
Yeah.
You know, Akil cannot join you, unfortunately. I contacted him. Lou,
Taleb, you're looking good.
thank you. Akil cannot join us, unfortunately. He has corona. He's in the hospital.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I'm sorry to
Yeah,
hear that.
I sent you a message about it. I spoke to him
Tell
over
him-
the phone.
Very sad.
Well, tell him we're
It's not
very
good.
sorry to hear that. We'll keep him in our prayers, Taleb.
Please do. He's a good man.
He sure is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hello, Philippe.
Hello, Louise.
How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah,
Good
thank
to
you.
see you. Good to see you.
It's the first time I heard
Happy.
somebody called Louise.
Nice to see you again.
I see Anastasia is just joining us.
Yeah, she's with
I
us.
am, but I'm having trouble with it.
Why?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
hear
we
Yes,
can hear
we can
you.
hear you.
We hear you, but we can't see you.
Don't see your face.
And
trying to
Jovan
make-
Popescu. Hello, Jovan.
Oh, hello.
How are you?
Hi, Jovan.
Well, let's say
Hi.
well.
Good. That's good. That's good. Nowadays,
And
that's
Ronnie,
good.
nice to see you again.
Good to see you also, Lou, and everybody else. Good to see all you guys.
Yeah. Good to see you, Bonnie.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shwani.
Hello, Diana.
Hello, my dear. I was about to give you a tip that
Country
we
style.
have been doing for 3 years. You take
Diana,
baking
country
soda,
style.
1 teaspoon of baking soda with spring water in the morning as you get up, and when you go to bed at night, it makes your body alkaline and protects you from viruses and cancer.
Baking soda?
I had that.
Just ordinary baking soda that you use for baking. Yeah, 1 teaspoon flat in a glass of spring water as you get up in the morning, not cold water, room temperature, and then at night before you
Room
go to bed.
temperature.
And it
So
makes
it's
your
not hot.
body
It's not.
alkaline, and you will not get viruses like. And I haven't had a cold for 3 years or anything, any
Okay.
kind of virus, and
My wife
it
should
prevents
hear
you from
that.
getting cancer. So, but you have
Okay,
to do
my
it
wife
every
should
day,
hear
not sometimes.
Yes. A baking soda?
My health tip.
Huh? Good. That's good to know.
Diana's always good for health tips. Every time I'm in Jamaica, I get 3 or 4.
Because I'm a health tip person.
Yeah, and they all work.
You say you sure are.
Yeah.
Hi, Birgit. Thank you for joining us. You're muted, Birgit. And Don King is there. Hi, Don.
Yeah.
And Ben Sherman. Good to see you, Ben.
Kathleen is there. She's muted as well. Hi, Kathleen.
Stop this right away. It is unacceptable. We did not do that from the then president, and that is an awful situation. Jake, go ahead.
Thanks, Wolf. We're just moments away from the second impeachment trial of Donald Trump resuming in the U.S. Senate. Let's get Manu Raju on Capitol Hill right now. Manu, we're expecting some new surveillance footage that we've never seen before to be introduced by these Democrats.
Yeah, they're saying that this is coming from Capitol security footage. They would not tell me this morning where this footage is from, whether it's from the police departments and the Washington Metropolitan Police Department or from Capitol Police, but they said it's Capitol security footage. They said they want to leave some element of surprise, but they expect it to be rather riveting and rather something that potentially could not be suitable for younger audiences as well. But nevertheless, they plan to present that sometime this afternoon. The question will be whether or not they could change any minds. And in talking to a number of Republican senators up and down, they are still hanging on to the idea that this is not a constitutional proceeding. And despite the Democrats asked that they separate out concerns about the constitutionality, which of course was affirmed by a majority vote in the Senate on a bipartisan basis yesterday, to separate that out with a vote on the merits, most of them are saying they cannot do that. That they said they will vote ultimately based on their concern that this, in their view, is not constitutional, which shows the high hurdles that Democrats have. And despite all the new evidence that they say that they plan to present this afternoon. Now, we do expect this trial, Jay, to move pretty quickly, potentially to get to a final vote this weekend. That is what the Republican senators are telling me, that they had discussions, each of them on their own side today.
Hello, Lou. Can you hear me? This is Andreas.
Chris, how are you? Thomas,
Hey.
what's
I'm
happening? We're
I was
getting,
wondering why do we have this television in the background listening to the news? Somebody has a television with news.
Thomas, can you cut off the news? There. Oh, okay. Hello, Andreas, Gail, Kathy Pond, Ben Sherman. My goodness, we got everybody with us.
Guys, someone has a lot of background noise. I can mute everyone or just turn off the background noise. So someone has the news running in the background. So everyone can hear it. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering where that was coming from.
Thank you.
Hey, brother Jay.
Hey, how are you, brother Tim? Good to see you.
Lou? Lou, can you hear me?
Yes, we can,
For
Anastasia.
some reason, I can't get all of you. I'm on my iPad. I have another Zoom on my computer. I'm going to see if I can switch it, and then I'll try to come back and join again. Okay?
Okay, we do see you and hear you.
All right. But, well, I can't see any of you. I want to see you.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Hi, John.
Good morning, Lou, and everyone.
Hey, how are you? You're looking beautiful as ever.
Oh, thank you.
Always.
Hi, Bear.
Yeah.
Are you in Palm Springs, Bear?
What's that?
Are you in Palm Springs or are you in Canada?
No, I'm in San Felipe, Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's
You
good.
get around, B.
I do. Yep, I just drive back and forth between places, so I'm not really interacting with tourism that much.
You're being a tourist yourself.
Yes, exactly.
I see a couple of our interns are with us. Hello, Anna, Laura.
Oh.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Fabio, thank you.
Hello.
Good evening.
Thank you for bringing
Hi,
these
Laura.
bright young faces into our meeting.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you
Thanks
for
to you.
having us.
And Kathy Sudeikis is with us. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, great.
Hey, Kathy.
Greetings to Jurgen from Kansas.
Hi, hello, Kansas.
Yes.
Hello.
Timothy,
Hey,
hello.
how you doing?
Do-
Good to be here.
Great to see you.
Can't turn this off.
Lou, I think we can get it started, right? When do we
think so.
start?
I think so, Raquel. Yes.
Yeah.
Evening, Bunny.
Silverado, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Silverado is president of our BC chapter, British Columbia chapter.
Great.
Yes.
She's a
Colombian
cross-country
British.
runner that has held Canadian records for cross-country running, and she's in the University of British Columbia Sports Hall of Fame.
All
It's
right.
Colombia and it's British.
Yay.
It's also great to see our new SA chapter people. Machachi is here and Bunny is here. And so Sefti, all three of them are here.
Yeah.
So,
Linda.
yeah, good to see you guys.
Everybody.
And Linda.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
When Lou asks us to come, we all
Yes, my people.
adhere to that.
Yes,
That's
they're
true.
from Peter Marisburg and from, what is it? I'm in Victoria. Bunny is in Pittsburgh. So yeah, all the Southern African chapter people, all of 4 of us are here. Lovely.
Got your whole team with you, Muchachi. That's great. Hello, Bunny. Nice to see you again.
Wonderful seeing you, Lou, and Jay and everybody else.
Hello.
Brother Tim, we probably could get started.
All right, all right.
Okay,
Well,
Tim.
good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the IIPT Zoom family meeting. This is an important year for the Institute as we're celebrating our 35th anniversary. And we believe with the important initiatives being shared today, this may be one of the Institute's most impactful years to date. As we enter the second month of this new year, we have much to be thankful for. And we'd like to begin by especially acknowledging the long-term friendship and support of Mr. Thomas Steinmetz, founder and chairman of the World Tourism Network, who is hosting our meeting today, and he's a true friend. So if you're not muted, let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, our dear friend. As we all know, we come together at a time when the world is combating one of the greatest pandemics ever to face humanity. A time of great strife in the world, and a time of severe climate change, economic deprivation, and poverty. If ever there was a time the world needed IIPT, it is now. So it is in this context that we're gathering here today. The work that you're doing on the ground is helping to transform the conditions facing humanity, and in a very real way, helping to save the earth we inhabit. This is no small thing. It is very important work each of you is doing right where you are, and collectively, the IIPT family is helping to change the world. So with that said, let us begin by hearing from a gentleman who has been leading this work on a global stage for many decades. We're most honored to have him as the chairman of our International Advisory Board. So please welcome Dr. Taleb Rifai.
Thank you so much, Tim. You have made a great introduction as usual. My dear friends, what we just heard is very, very true, because world peace depends on world governments. World governments are failing us now, really failing us. Each government is working on its own. They measure their success only by looking inwards. The international system, the multilateral system is falling apart. No EU, no AU, no UN altogether. We don't hear any voices of them. That's the fact. The fact is that governments need to measure their success by how much they cooperate with each other, because governments cannot do it alone now. Tourism is connecting people, and people cannot do it on their own. Each government now is bragging on how it's doing a good job on its own. But if the governments don't work together, success cannot be achieved. This is our main mission, I believe. Our main mission is to try to encourage world governments to work together, because no matter how much measure we take now in this COVID-19 alone, there is no sense measuring any success if country A cannot visit country B, or if an airline wants to go from country A to country B and has different procedures and different protocols. So what we need now is a cooperation, international cooperation, which is the basis of peace. Now, international system, we know the traditional international systems fallen apart already. COVID has many advantages. It uncovered the fragility of this system. The system has been weak to start with. We need to rebuild the new system from bottom up, brick by brick. That's what we need to do. I believe in that. I'll stop at this point. I'm very, very eager to hear what you have to say about this. But I firmly believe the challenge is how to cooperate together and how to harmonize everything together. It's not important to have one country do its blockage here, or have testing there, or doing this or doing that. The important thing, how do we do it together? Even the minimum of doing it together is better than the maximum of doing each one of them alone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Lou, for bringing this family together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rafai, for those really inspiring words. Thank you so much. We're very honored today to have three distinguished members of our IIPT International Advisory Board, and I would like to acknowledge them. Mr. Bob Zimmer, who has been with us as a very loyal advisory board member since our very first global conference in Vancouver in 1988. And we have Ms. Anastasia Mann, who has also been a loyal advisory board member since our first conference and who played a major role in the success of our 2001 Global Summit in Geneva, Switzerland, by securing 007 Sir Roger Moore to give the keynote address. And Ms. Kathy Sudeikis, who has been a formidable leader in travel and tourism on the global stage for many decades. We are delighted to have all of you with us today, and we thank you for your many contributions. Let's give them a big welcome, everybody. Yes. I would also like to acknowledge two faithful, dedicated IIPT board members. I don't know if Markley is with us yet, but Mr. Markley Wilson and Mr. Donald King, they do their work behind the scenes, but are crucial to the fabric of the Institute organizationally and programmatically. And we will be hearing from Don shortly, but I did not want to go further into this meeting without acknowledging these gentlemen who do so much behind the scenes to help keep IIPT going. Now, I am pleased to announce that IIPT will be launching two new chapters. The first will be our Maldives chapter, and we're most delighted to have with us Mr. Mohammed Raid, Managing Director, Maldives Integrated Tourism Development Corporation. Welcome, sir, and we will hear from you now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking me on board, and a very warm welcome, and a very warm welcome from the sunny side of life, the Maldives. I'll just give a very small presentation that I have made for this event. Just very brief about the Maldives. I'll just share what we are doing. So this is as Timothy have mentioned, that this is peace through tourism. So MITDC would like to join this initiative and the chapter, and carry on with what you guys are doing, and also introducing it to the Maldives as well. Maldives, as everyone would definitely know, it's located in the Indian Ocean. It's across from north to south, 9,200 islands actually, and it's 800 kilometers long and 130 kilometers wide. So we have 1,200 islands in total. Tourism was started in 1972, and next year is a very jubilant year for Maldives. We are going to celebrate 50 years of tourism. So we are proud to say that within less than 50 years, we have become the leading destination in the world. Last year, we have received the leading destination award in tourism. And we have registered 154 resorts and 614 guest houses. That is the statistics prior to the COVID. And I would say that Maldives is not a country that is in mass tourism, which most countries, I think, in this chapter also, that I have seen a lot of countries that has been introduced with mass tourism. But I'm really sorry to say that Maldives is not even yet introduced as a mass touristic destination. So we have been discussing with your mandate as well, with peace through tourism. Maldives is, yes, definitely a very peaceful destination. And that is one reason we have got all these destination awards so far. For the last 49 years, we have won several trophies in best destination for peace, peaceful destination, best beaches, and then best honeymoon destinations. So this the main reason is, I would say, Maldives is a peaceful destination. That is one main reason we are holding that position. We have one religion, one race, one language in the Maldives. And Maldives Integrated Tourism Development Corporation is a 100% government tourism company, and I've been an appointed managing director by the president of the Maldives. And we are mandated with the development of local tourism in the Maldives. Previously, Maldives does not have local tourism, which means hotels where people are living. But now, since 2010, we call guest houses or boutique hotels or Airbnb, whatever they call. We have now 20% is being shared by this local tourism in the Maldives. And there's another thing that we are going to introduce to the Maldives. So far, we have only sun, sand, and sea. I have been, I think I would like to thank at this moment to Miss Diana also, because she has been very helpful for us in introducing community tourism. That is, we really need to introduce community tourism to the Maldives, because so far we have not won any award in terms of community tourism to the Maldives. So we believe it is high time that we must now introduce community tourism into the Maldives. And for that also also there's another component, that is heritage tourism. We are going to have a yacht rally that is scheduled actually for this year February, but unfortunately due to the COVID situations, we have postponed it for the 2022 February. This
Mr.
will be
Wright,
open.
Mr. Wright, I'm so sorry, sir. We're so happy to have you here with us. We are specifically interested in plans for 2021 because we're going to give you another opportunity to do a more full-scale presentation going forward. But we have a whole lot of presenters today. So please forgive me for interrupting you, sir.
Sorry, just a moment, because I would like, just a moment. I would like to remember to everyone that we have 2.5 minutes each in order to be short and everyone can talk without being too heavy. So I'm going to interrupt just to say when you have 30 seconds more, okay?
Yeah, thank you so
Very
much.
good.
And I have just
Mohammed,
my
I just have one quick question. One quick question, Mohammed. Still abide by the one island, one resort policy? Are you still abiding by that?
Yes, we have one island, one resort policy, and also we have introduced, as I have said, local tourism that is allowing tourists to visit the islands where people are living. So we have now two main segments, that is luxury tourism and also local tourism as well. So through local tourism, we would like to introduce peace through tourism as well as community-based tourism for the islands as well. So that is my introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you for the time, and I'm really appreciate.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Mohammed.
and we look forward to visiting you.
Yes,
Okay.
everyone should.
IIPT is most welcome to the Maldives.
Yes, sir. We will move forward now. Yes, I was actually saving this for a little bit later, but let me just please reiterate what we just heard from Fabio. We're asking each of the presenters to really keep your remarks between 2 and 3 minutes. And when you get to about 2.5 minutes, our brother Fabio is going to chime in to let you know that it's time to close. And we hope you all will understand that. But we have so much valuable information that needs to be shared today that's the only way we're going to be able to really get through it. So the second new chapter will be led by Mr. Alexandru Nedelea, or I hope that's the correct pronunciation of his name, professor at the Stefan cel Mare University at Suceava in Suceava, Romania, where our Romanian chapter will be based. He and his wife have edited a book on peace marketing. So if you're with us, sir, we would love to hear from you now. Well, he may not have joined us yet, so we may have to come back. Now I would like to introduce you to two new individual members of the family who will be playing important roles. The first is Mr. Anand Bansod, our newest IIPT Ambassador for Peace. Our ambassadors for peace exemplify and epitomize our credo of the peaceful traveler. So let us hear a brief word from Mr. Bansod. Are you with us, sir? Okay.
I don't see him, Brother Tim.
Timothy, let me make you a co-host, and you can actually see exactly who is on there. You can search by name.
Okay.
And that makes it easier. Okay, so I'm going to try to do that.
Thank you so much. Well, we know that Mr. Francois is with us, and he is our next newest family member, Mr. Philippe Francois, IIPT Ambassador at Large. These ambassadors travel the world with a cause and have the ability to bring new projects and relationships to the Institute. So we're so happy to have you to join us, Mr. Francois. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I'm very honored and so pleased to be with you again. It's not the first time, and so honored to be with the family, IIPT family. So just briefly, I've been a hotel director. I've been this tourist destination director as well, and since 50 years now. And approximately 25 years ago, I was looking for the meaning of all my action between hospitality, restaurant, tourism, and I said probably it's a tripod on planet, human, and the link between the both is obviously peace. As far as the planet's concerned, I published approximately 20 books on environment and sustainability development solutions for tourism, and I'm working all over the world. And as far as human is concerned, I created approximately 25 schools of program university programs in the world. And currently I am the chairman of different organizations. One of them is AMFOT. AMFOT is the World Association for Training and Education in Tourism, which has been recognized by United Nations Organization 3 years ago. So I'm the chairman. We gather 800 members from 66 countries nowadays. So
it's an important organization.
Planet and human in the middle, it's peace and friendship among the world. This is the meaning of my, not of my action, of my life.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Francois. We're so happy to have you to be a part of the family. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that you will all agree that we're incredibly fortunate in many ways, but what we just witnessed are acknowledgments of friends who've been with us steadfastly for 35 years and are still with us, yet simultaneously, we've just welcomed brand new members from various parts of the world who bring new energy, insights, and opportunities for us to expand the peace through tourism movement. And we've got some young folks who have joined us, and we're going to be hearing from them and about some of the work that they're doing. So I truly believe that that is an enormous sign of health of the Institute, and it's a great way to launch our 35th year. So I just needed to make that acknowledgement. Now, for those of you who have attended our global events, I love it when our sister Anita is it Mindrato or Mindirata?
Mindirata.
Mindirata, after she's completed all her introduction, she says, all protocols observed. And that is what we have done. So now we will move into the next phase of this meeting, where we will hear presentations on some phenomenal projects and initiatives being done around the world. Our goal for this meeting is to not only hear about this great work, but as you listen, we encourage each of you to think about ways you may be able to link up with these projects and provide real support in ideas, contacts, resources, promotions, or other ways you can help to propel this project to completion and optimal achievements. That is what we want to accomplish today as we all contribute to the IIPT mission of peace through tourism. So a reminder of our housekeeping rules. Each presenter, please keep your remarks to 2 to 3 minutes, or Brother Fabio is going to jump in. Next, since we have so much ground to cover, we ask your patience in allowing us to get through all of the presentations. Then we will be able to share our thoughts, ask questions, and have a good discussion. So without further ado, our first presenter is a long-term outstanding member of the IIPT Board of Directors. He will give us an overview of our partnership with the Azraq Community Refugee Center, a wonderful project supporting Syrian refugees in Jordan. Mr. Donald King. Brother Don.
Thank you, Tim. Let me give background. The war in Syria is generally considered the greatest humanitarian disaster since World War II. Several million Syrians have fled their country seeking safety. Perhaps 1 million of those have come to Jordan, a country which has had to bear an inordinate level of responsibility for this tragedy. The greatest majority of these Syrian refugees in Jordan are not in United Nations refugee camps and do not have access to medical care or educational coverage or other similar services. One group of Syrians have come to a village in the eastern part of Jordan, Azraq, and which is, interestingly enough, the site of the Azraq Wetlands Reserve, a significant ecotourism destination, which is governed by Jordan's Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature, which is making an effort to replenish the water supply of this geographic anomaly, if you can imagine a marshland in the middle of the desert. In that village in Azraq, there is a community center that's organized by the citizens of that village, and they're providing some educational and medical services to Syrian refugees. However, their resources are meager. So here's the proposal I have. In cooperation with the Jordanian Ministry of Tourism and with the Royal Society for Conservation of Nature in Jordan and any other appropriate agencies, the International Institute for Peace or Tourism would conduct an event in Azraq, establishing an IIPT Peace Park there adjacent to the Azraq Wetland Reserve, and also designating the Azraq Community Center as an official IIPT project. From this, I see we would have these goals for this initiative. First of all, we would bring the attention of the international travel industry to the tourism opportunities in Jordan. 2, we would raise international attention to Jordan's role in its provision for refugees. 3, we would highlight Jordan's ecotourism opportunities, particularly the Azraq Wetlands Reserve, by publicizing the efforts of the Royal Society for Conservation of Nature in Jordan. We would encourage international tour operators to develop tours that include ecotourism sites in Jordan, along with opportunities for voluntourism, that is, assisting refugees and other needy groups in Jordan. And then finally, we would help provide the resources to maintain the continued operation of the community center in Azraq. And that's what I'm proposing. And of course, we're going to lean heavily on the counsel of Dr. Rafai to advise us how to take this initiative further. So thank you for your attention. I invite you to come and see this fascinating place and meet some fascinating but desperate people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Don.
Thank you, Dr. King.
Our next presenter is a phenomenal gentleman who has been such a blessing to the Institute with his innovations, programmatically and organizationally, and just his wonderful spirit. He is our IIPT Executive Vice President and President of the chapter in India, which he established and is doing truly phenomenal work. He is Mr. Ajay Prakash. So, Brother Ajay, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Brother Tim. It's as Dr. Talib Rifai just said in his opening remarks, the need is to start rebuilding from the bottom up. And this is the project that we've taken on recently. I have a small farm plot, which is about 2 hours out of Mumbai. And it's a 270-acre holding where various people have bought an acre or 2 or 3. Unfortunately, out of those 270 acres, only about 35 acres have been developed because those are the people, those 35 people who built their houses. And Kiran, our vice president, and I, both of us have property there. So we were talking about what we could do. Now, there's a perennial river that runs past the land. And there's a lot of villagers around. And, you know, the COVID has led to a large amount of unemployment and frustration. So what we decided is that we would talk to these owners of these balanced 235 odd acres and say, look, your land is lying fallow. It's technically, it's an agroforestry society that's been formed and they're all a part of it. So with the land lying the way it is and the villagers not having work, what we decided is, let's see how we can harness everybody together and get something going. So at this point of time, we've got about 15 acres where we've got people who've agreed that they will hand the land over to us. We will use the people from the local villages, and we've started growing organic vegetables as a start. At the same time, since Kiran is a professor at an Institute of Management in Mumbai, what we're also looking at is to do a rural sensitization program for the MBA students of his university. So we've got a skills development program ongoing with the district administration, and we're going to get the students from Mumbai over to come and map these villages and see what are the traditional the livelihoods that people have been following, where the lacunae lie, where people can come in, and then we tap people who are willing to give aid. So the idea is to get the rural-urban connect, and especially with the younger people, because that's where it's going to go in the future. You need the younger people to come in and take on. At the same time, we've also had a discussion with the district administration and mooted the idea of an IIPT Peace Park. And we found like an enormous amount of enthusiasm over there. So the next couple of weeks when I'm there, we're going to go and see the site which they want to develop as a park. It's just open land with a few trees and a few other things around. But if we get the opportunity, then this can probably be the first IIPT Peace Park in that district, and probably the first one in India to be dedicated to IIPT, which is one of Lou's, very, very dear to him. So this is what we're doing right now. In time, when we haven't achieved critical mass in terms of having access to all the land, but once we have about 40 odd acres, then we can look at buying equipment, farming equipment. So this is a recently started project, but I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope we shall be able to make something tangible out of this, including that Peace Park. So that's what we're working on right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ajay. That sounds very exciting, and thank you for your leadership Brother Ajay came to us with the idea to establish a chapter in India, and he has done phenomenal. He and the whole team there have done a phenomenal job. So we're so grateful for all that you do. Our next presenter needs no introduction. She's been a member of the IIPT family forever and is president of the IIPT Caribbean. She is the leading voice for community tourism globally and has led the way in establishing important models that have been replicated. She is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ms. Diana McIntyre Pike. Diana. Where are you, Diana?
Diana, you need to unmute yourself.
She was there. She was there before.
Sorry about that.
She's there? Okay.
Okay, there she is.
Okay, I just wanted to say I'm a very proud member of the IIPT that started way back when I did my first introduction in Montreal at the conference and introduced community tourism. I was invited to do that. And from then, everything started, and then we became the first chapter of the IIPT in the Caribbean area. So proud of that too. So we're part of the heritage. And we have done a lot of work to develop our communities and transform our communities through our country-style community tourism network. And we came up with a program called Villages as Businesses. And it has taken off like wildfire. I mean, it's like all the communities are excited because they now understand what community tourism is, which is community development. Community development is where you're helping people to become entrepreneurs in their own environment and not having to leave their community, but also to learn to value their community. And we're very proud of the fact that we got the partnership of the University of the West Indies Open Campus, who have now given us certification for our entrepreneurship training. And I'm very happy about this because it has taken us to great heights. And they are planning with us now a community tourism study tours with virtual tours to communities. And we got a grant from the US Embassy to implement in April the entrepreneurship training, which will take place with 4 communities to start with. And we have included security and protocol for COVID. Because what they're trying to achieve is to make sure that people who may come to Jamaica will be able to visit the communities. So we're looking at the COVID period as a period of preparation. We're preparing the communities. We're teaching them health and wellness. We're teaching them how to be citizens and to focus on their training and transforming their farming into organic farming. So we're working on that with the Manchester Peace Coalition, which was formed as a result of Lou coming to our conference in Mandeville, IIPT conference. And they were excited to meet Lou, and they were excited about IIPT. And the mayor went and signed up to be the first town, IIPT town in the Caribbean. And we had the first peace park in the Caribbean. And now we have 18 peace villages, not just Jamaica, but throughout the Caribbean. So we are moving forward with this organic farming and entrepreneurship, bearing in mind that the peace initiative is an important one, and people are now beginning to understand what the peace is. And we're going to be announcing soon, we'll be sending you a press release on it, that we have the diaspora on board with us. They are wanting to become more active with everything. They love the IIPT, they love everything that we're doing. So they have now branded it community economic tourism, because they wanted to make the people know that it's all about developing the economy of the communities. And we are going to be having a number of initiatives that will come from that. But one of them, and then this is my final, is that we have the Community Tourism Trust Fund that we're setting up. And that trust fund, we want to have the diaspora lead capital investment, and the interest from that will help communities with their projects wherever they are. and also grant funding and low interest loans. It is something that would give us the independence that we need and not dependency on having to get grants and things from other people. And the diaspora has all the money in the world to take care of our needs in the Caribbean. We just have to provide the forum for them, and that's what we're doing. And we're very happy to see Maldives here. Welcome, Mohammed. They are now a partner of us as well, and we introduced them to Lou, and I'm glad that Lou moved forward with them. Very good. So we'll have them actively involved with all that I've just said, because we're now taking everything we have outside of the Caribbean. And thank you all for your love and caring, and happy Valentine's Day on Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Sister Diana. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Action-packed agenda. So we're looking forward to seeing great things.
Yeah, thank you.
More great things. Our next presenter is, simply put, a truly remarkable lady. Ms. Gail Parsonage is president of our awesome chapter in Australia. She's been a part of every major development since joining the Institute, and she has been faithful in her attendance at conferences and summits throughout the world, and the work that she's doing in Australia is second to none. So please welcome her as she discusses the olive tree trekking route in Turkey. Ms. Gail Parsonage.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, time poor, so let's get to it. The olive oil or the olive tree trekking route is a truly visionary concept. It is being driven by a lady called Seville Canocci, and she lives half the year in Australia and half the year in Turkey. So we've been collaborating and trying to get this massive project off the ground. Now, I'm very, very pleased to report to you that the first stage is well and truly happening, and it will start with a location which is already in place, and it's called the Olive Oil Museum. It is in a place called Ula, U-R-L-A, which is in Izmir, I-Z-M-I-R, in Turkey. It is already an ongoing tourist establishment with the museum, Olive Oil Museum, and also an educational centre. And the founder of that is a gentleman called Dr. Levent Kostem, K-O-S-T-E-M. And he has agreed to have a peace park located in and around and at his location of the museum. So that now becomes a strategic launch pad. And the concept, of course, is to have this trekking route around Turkey but spreading throughout the Mediterranean. And at each strategic location would be a peace park. So that is absolutely on track, and it's a matter of targeting a date and for them to organise the funding to get the appropriate plaquing. So that all systems go. I haven't got a launch date because they were hoping that we could all go there and be involved, but of course circumstances with international travel is problematic, unless somebody locally that we all know could go there. But that's definitely on track, and it is also spreading to the Polytechnic University within Izmir. They are now aware of it, and they are driving the government officials to get involved and stakehold into the major project. But a peace park located at the Olive Oil Museum in Ula in Izmir, Turkey is on track and happening. So I'm very, very pleased to advise you on that. Two other very quick things. The other project that we had with the University of Technology for the Student Peace Award. That's definitely happening. Presentation will take place on the 1st of April, and I will negotiate with them to also have some of you people, if you're available, to also speak at the presentation, because we can now do that with the technology. They will be doing a paper, and the paper this time, or the essay this time, will be on the credo. So they have been given credo of IIPT, and the discussion paper by them will be how does that credo relate to destinations. So it will be specifically linked this time to IIPT. And the award is targeted to take place on the 20th of May with the same arrangements that we've had with Fabio and IIPT as an award recognition. So that's number 2. And the third one, very quickly, is just following on from Don King. We were very pleased to support Don and his work when we took a delegation from Australia to ASRAC. And I have been to the wetlands and very, very impressed. And it's such a pity that it doesn't get more recognition and more tourists, but logistics involved. And I would support that IIPT at that location, because I have been to Jordan many, many, many times. And I've been to the location where the first Amman conference, and I asked all the tour guides, could you show me where the Peace Park is? They don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So even though our Peace Park, first Peace Park, was launched in Amman, the sands have engulfed it a bit. So relocate, but we all know we can have more than one Peace Park in any country. So I would be totally endorsing, and I could visualize it, because that in itself has a great tourism destination in its own right, and of course the environmental impact of it. So we're on track. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gail. Very, very exciting initiatives. And the board has been having some very serious discussions about our global peace parks, and Lou is going to be talking more about that today. So thank you so much for your comments. We appreciate that. Our next presenter has been another wonderful gift to the Institute. Mr. Fabio Carbone is an IIPT Ambassador at Large and President of IIPT Iran. His contributions have been awesome. He will present on 2 projects, the Festival of Peace in Iran, and the second is the IIPT History Project, which is one example of the kinds of new initiatives he brings, and which includes 3 new interns he's brought on board from Rome University to conduct this special project for the Institute. So Fabio, please tell us all about these exciting projects.
Hello, everyone. It's always great to see you and be together. Hello, team. Hello, Taleb, Lou, Ajay, and everyone, Diana.
Hello, Fabio.
Hello there, Taleb. Hello. So, yes. So, I'm going to. Okay. So. Here we go. Is visible for everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well, as ambassador at large of the IIPT, I had the honor of represent the institution quite many places, from Ecuador to Jordan, Middle East, different countries in the Middle East, and almost all Europe. Through conference, seminars, workshops, where I was invited, and for the future, I will continue to with this work. I want to focus more on the other role. That is my role as a IIPT special envoy to Iran. briefly, in 2018, in April 2018, after 1 year of work there as a special envoy, we create this the chapter, the Iran chapter. As you can see, it was quite a big success. A lot of work done from the east to west, north to south, school involved, museums, peace museums, war museums. There is a few days ago we were having one of the initiatives, an online a webinar together with the museum of the Holy Defense in Tehran, the collaboration with National Geographic Farsi so far, and as you can see, yeah, different activities. Here you have one of the former member, and one of the biggest event we had was dedicated to the role of women in peace, in the perspective of peace through tourism, and the recognition as initiatives of the tourism for SDG, which was quite important, in particular in the specific goal among the 17 goals of the SDG, the specific goal 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. So we are acknowledged officially by the UNWTO. Now, for the future, the idea is the creation of this festival with the support both private, public bodies and other association in Tehran. So we are also doing this kind of work of putting everyone together. The idea is, since 21st September is the International Day of Peace, and the 27th of September is the tourism, the International Day of Tourism. This lucky coincidence make me think about this possibility to make a bridge, symbolic bridge between peace and tourism. And the bridge is going to be symbolized actually here on the Tabiat Bridge in Tehran, where we are imagining and planning this festival, okay, along the week, no, between one day and another. This is a very beautiful place in Tehran, which even the history of this place has to do with kind of peace. It was designated to the military in the beginning, but then finally, in the end, was dedicated to the nature. So the encounter of people. So it's very symbolic. And the architect is a woman. So there are a lot of reasons why we want to celebrate this and create this festival, this first edition of the festival. As you can see, is always like this, all the week, like this, all the days of the year. So we are quite excited about this, and we really are going ahead with this project for 2021. And then now back to Europe. Yes, thanks to a partnership between the IIPT and the University Roma Tre in Rome, with the professor that is there with me in the picture, Barbara Antonucci, we are working in this exciting and honorable endeavor that is writing the story and the history of the IIPT. For this team, I would like to, there are 3 students that are doing this work as interns of the IIPT. It's being grateful to be the coordinator, because they have a lot of will, knowing more and about the history of the IIPT, and they really can represent the future also of our project and our message. And in fact, I would like to leave the floor to them after me in order to introduce briefly themselves and the work that they're doing. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please do, Fabio. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Hi, my name is Anna, and we are students of the post-graduation specialization in Roma Tre University. And we are so happy to take part in this meeting and to do this internship with the IIPT to collaborate and create a new project with you. And this is an important project for us. And we will create a document, a report about the last 35 years of the achievement of this important organization. I leave the word to my friends, Laura and Linda.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We are working on a project that will be a report about the achievements of this organization in the last 35 years. And our aim is to promote the message of tourism and peace and spread good practices among the industry. And I leave the word to my colleague, Linda.
Thanks. We just wanted to add that we are glad to be here today. We're happy to meet you, and we believe this is a great opportunity for us because, you know, one thing is to do research and study, and another is to directly hear from you all the actions that this organization is taking. So we can definitely learn more about it, and hopefully we will do a better job with the report. So again, thank you so much for having us today.
Well, thank you all, and we are so excited to have all of you involved with us. As Brother Lou said earlier, you all are the future of the Peace Through Tourism movement, and we can tell from your bright faces and your energy that you will be wonderful, wonderful additions to the IIPT family. And we thank our brother Fabio for his role in this and bringing all of you to us. So we're very, very happy to have you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. Now, yes, let's welcome them. Now, Reza Soltani, who is director of IIPT marketing, has been doing peace tours to Chernobyl, Hiroshima, and North Korea. And let me just say, before I ask Fabio to say a few words on Reza's behalf, that Reza has really been a blessing to the Institute. He came to us with some ideas about transforming our website, and he's been doing just a wonderful job, and we're grateful for all that he does. He's in another time zone and he's not able to join us, I don't believe. I don't see his name on the list that Mr. Steinmetz sent to us.
No.
So Fabio, would you please go ahead?
Absolutely, yes. Reza and Lou asked me to replace him, just talk on his behalf. Reza, as you were saying, Tim, it's really one of the more operational, in general terms, for the IIPT, in particular with regards to all the digital aspect of our presence online. I work with him. I'm in contact with him basically every day. Also because as Iranian, we work together many times in Iran. So I confirm everything you said. It's really a bless. About the project he's developing in Hiroshima, organizing peace tours to Hiroshima, South and North Korea, and to Chernobyl. Reza asked me to mention in particular one thing in relation to the peace tour to Chernobyl. he wants you all to know that everyone, all the participants will receive the credo of the IIPT, because this is going to be also a way to raise the awareness of the participant about the specific objective and the specific philosophy of the IIPT. So he's quite excited about this future travel that he's organizing, and he say hello to everyone.
Thank you so much, Fabio. Thank you, and thank Reza for us until we get a chance to speak with him. Thank you.
I will.
Please do.
Yes, our next presenter has come on board into the IIPT family and has just been a ray of sunshine with the outstanding work that she's doing in South Africa. She is the president of our IIPT South Africa chapter, Ms. Ramawela, and she is going to talk to us about creating a platform to engage stakeholders and the dedication of an IIPT Peace Parks. And I have to acknowledge our brother Ajay, who brought this jewel of a wonderful young leader to us. So Ms. Ramawela, the floor is yours.
Well, good evening, or it's good morning, good afternoon to everybody, with all the love from South Africa to all of you.
Great.
We can set with some love because of the state of the tourism economy, tourism industry the world over. So we are very glad and we're very happy to be part of the wonderful world of IIPT, championing the Southern African chapter. And I'm very pleased to have my co-members of the chapter here in South Africa. Yeah, you've met them earlier on. So what we shared with you in our December meeting, and our plans for the chapter down here in Southern Africa. What we have been able to do over the holidays is to reach out to our colleagues in the Southern African region, because we then agreed with the advice from Ajay, how we're going to, that we will not stand on our own as South Africa. We will then stand together with the rest of our colleagues in the Southern African community. And so our work in this year is really going to be focusing on institutionalizing the chapter. And what that means is that we're going to reach out to the Southern African communities. We have already started in Zambia, in Botswana, and in Namibia. And obviously with Zimbabwe, who's been a very long-standing member participating in IIPT work. And we'll certainly reach out to all the rest of the Southern African countries one by one, but we wanted to just reach out with the immediate, and those who have already been ahead. They have a long-standing relationship with IIPT International. And the work that we started already is about, in South Africa, with COVID, it's been a bit of a difficulty as to how do we go about launching, making ourselves public. So what we decided to do is to do the work first. We rather put the work first before we go public and make an announcement to everybody about our existence. So we're making a very measured announcement among the colleagues so that by the time we make it aware to everybody, at least we have the capacity. Because all of us who are involved in the chapter are involved in separate ways and running businesses of our own. So this is the focus that we're having on it. And then of course, to do the launch, we are targeting to do the launch of our chapter, just to make it public and visible out there at the World Travel Market Africa, which normally takes place in Cape Town in April. With COVID-19, it is not very clear whether this event is going to take place. But what will possibly take place is a hybrid event, which is where everybody's doing these days, that they have a certain amount of people on site in Cape Town, and then a lot of us all joining out virtually. And this is how we are going to be launching our chapter. But before that, our work is to make sure that we will have grown and established ourselves within South Africa and also within some of the immediate neighbors that we have. And then the next, we have had over the holidays, we have had students. It's amazing how you think you're starting something new and you don't have much of an audience out there that knows about the existence of this chapter. We have had students approaching us wanting to get involved with the chapter. We put them on hold just to make sure we have our structures in place. They're starting a lot of work in South Africa, so we try to be very focused. You will know that the Peace Parks Foundation is very, very strong in Southern Africa with a lot of peace parks that are in place. So with WWF very much in the forefront, and with the South African national parks and other provincial parks that are very active within South Africa and within the region. So we certainly want, we are taking it very easy, we're taking it very cautious. We don't want to overpromise. We want to take very measured steps when we establish ourselves, because once we get off and we get started, we want to make sure that we have the capacity to take the work forward. We're certainly inspired by hearing all the work from the likes of Diane in the Caribbean. They've reached out to us to really certainly can offer us a lending hand in the work that lies ahead of us. And of course, to reach out to your colleagues in Maldives. We're going to work together, but we're going to rely a lot with yourself, with your experience. And we take pleasure in participating in these platforms, because then we take a lot of lessons from you. But we are grateful for the support that Ajay and the team in India has been giving us. And we can certainly promise you that when you do hear work coming out of our region, it will be sterling work that embraces the region. And we'll certainly be leaning on you to assist us. But if my colleagues are here, there's 4 of us on this platform tonight, if they can just introduce themselves, really just hear from them, what do they do in their lives and what brought them into IIPT. I really appreciate that, Chair, so that you know it's not me and as the face of the chapter in Southern Africa, but you also hear from the 3 colleagues that are online. So let me call on to Linda, and then after Linda, I'll call on Bani, whom you know very well, and then we call on Septi, who is an extensive network of small business operators that are within his collective. So let's go with Linda, with your permission. Thank you very much.
Very brief, please.
Good evening, colleagues. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Linda Ncipe. I own a company in the MICE space. I've been in the tourism industry for a very long time. I accepted an invitation to be part of this, of IIPT, which I gladly accepted because I share the values, and I would like to believe that I would add value to the goals of, to the bigger goals of the organization. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bani Bula. I'm involved in community heritage political tourism organization that is called the Freedom Route, which follows the footprints of Gandhi and Mandela. And I come from a city called Pietermaritzburg, which I claim to believe is the center of the world of democracy, because no city can claim to have Gandhi being thrown off the station in the same vicinity where Mandela was captured. So our community tourism project has already a peace park that was accredited by IIPT conference when they were in Johannesburg. And we invite you all to come through and walk the footprints of Gandhi and Mandela and learn the legendary lessons that we all need to take direction from. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bani. Let's hear from Septi before we close off. We don't want to take too much time.
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you, Chief. I wasn't expecting to speak. My name is Septi Pugula from Johannesburg. I'm the head of a network of tourism SMEs called CZA, Tourism SME Network, which stands for C South Africa Tourism SME Network. I am delighted to be part of IIPT Southern Africa under the leadership of our president, Machacha Ramawelo. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, team, for allowing us to speak. And of course, one of our biggest projects in the immediate future is really to reconnect and have a regional tourism marketing and tourism development and peace parks at the center with all our Southern African neighbors. But ours in this year, in 2021, is about the growth, is about institutionalization, so that when we stand up to deliver. We don't want to certainly stand up and be counted and only to disappear from the IIPT. So we're glad to be in this family, that you welcome us so warmly. We will certainly rely on all of you to carry us on your back as we get our feet on the ground to get this chapter going in our part of the world. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sister Ramawelo, and thank you for introducing us to the other members of the family who are working with you on the ground to make all of this happen. It was wonderful to see their faces and to hear their voices, and to just see who's with you. Thank you. We're very proud of you and very grateful for all that you are doing and the leadership that you are providing. You are a blessing to the IIPT family, and we're here for you. We want you to know that, okay? All right, fantastic. All right, the next gentleman, Mr. Raga Ramasamy, is president of the IIPT Indian Ocean chapter. He has been with us for a long time doing incredible work in the Indian Ocean. And today he's going to talk to us about preventing child exploitation and preserving biodiversity in the Indian Ocean region. Brother Maga, please.
Maga, unmute yourself. Maga, unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, there you are.
Oh, yes. A very good morning and good evening to many of you. Yes, in fact, as you rightly mentioned, Tim, that we've been with the IIPT for quite some years, since 1995, if we can say so. And the Indian Ocean Islands has been formed mainly after the World Airlines Club Association has joined the IIPT as a coalition partner, where I was the then Secretary General at the time of this organization. And one of the main aspects of the Indian Ocean was to align the effort of moving ahead with the various responsible and sustainable tourism and travel partners in the region. When we talk about the region, we are talking about Mauritius, Seychelles, Madagascar, Reunion Islands, Comore. I mean, mostly about the Vanilla Islands, particularly. And the more so that we represent quite an exclusive economic zone in the region, and the region is being qualified as a region of peace. It's probably this is something that we want to preserve, and our association, I mean the IIPT, is well positioned to do our part. And one of the most important things that we're trying to do is to create this this awareness of responsible and ethical aspect of tourism, whilst achieving the SDGs, which the 17 SDGs in 2030, and also develop this concept of responsible and peaceful traveler. So which means that whoever we're receiving in our region, we want to receive responsible and peaceful traveler in our region. So as regards the child protection from all sorts of exploitation, yes, in fact, since I've been involved in the airlines for quite some years, or decades, I would say, and this has been one of my main topics which I've been emphasizing. And through our associations of airline ambassadors and the WACA, together with IIPT, we are developing. I mean, we are promoting this combat this human trafficking in the region. So we don't say that there is any human trafficking, but if there is any, we want to create this awareness so that we don't have that sort of trafficking in the region. So obviously, this goes in line when we talk about the protection of the children in the travel and tourism network. So these are the things that we are doing, and not later than this week, we have contacted all the hotels mostly based in Mauritius, and obviously we're going to be extended to the different island states regarding for the training of the personnel, since the tourist, since we don't have any kind at the hotels nowadays. So I think it's the right time for us to concentrate on some training of the personnel of how to track any human trafficking or child prostitution. And on the other hand, as I said in the introduction, so we also look after the environmental aspect, and where one of the projects which we have carried together with the University of Kassel from Germany, they came to Mauritius and also to Reunion Islands to see how we can we carry on a survey with the incoming passengers to see what are the advantages of trying to see of using less, of reducing the food wastage on board. So these are one of the aspects of the SDGs. So we're trying to see how we can contribute to that aspect, and also less plastic usage, and mostly with a single-use plastic. Try to see how we can reduce that, because you will realize that when we have all these plastics, very often all these plastics end in the ocean, and we don't want our ocean to be polluted. And you will realize that nowadays, according to the survey that we carried, it's approximately each passenger per flight will they consume. I mean, there is a waste per passenger, about 1.4 kilogram of waste per passenger. So you can imagine if you have 300 passengers per flight per day. I mean, how many tons of waste we have per flight. So these are the things that we're trying to bring this awareness as well. And also, not later than last week, we celebrated the World Wetland Day, and where we have some wetland in Mauritius, for instance, which we call the Ramsar International Site. And there as well, the IIPT Indian Oceans is giving a big helping hand to create and to create this awareness, and how the importance of wetland for the preservation of our biodiversity. And one of the projects that we're trying to implement together with the Ministry of Education is to have eco clubs in schools, so that at least we can disseminate this this concept of protection of the biodiversity, and mainly the importance of mangroves. So these are a little bit some of the main projects or the main activities that the IIPT Indian Ocean Islands is doing presently. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Brother Maga. The next gentleman has been, I almost can't remember a time that the next gentleman hasn't been with us as a member of the family, Mr. Andreas Lorenzakis, a member of the IIPT family. There are certain people I think of over the history of IIPT who've been quiet glue in those times when we just needed someone to pitch in to really help us to keep things going. Andreas has been that person time and time again. He's just a beautiful brother and a wonderful friend to Lou and to all of us. So Andreas, please share with us your IIPT Peace Travelers platform.
Tim, thank you very much. And I'm so pleased to see everybody in this platform and forum. I'm very excited. I've always been passionate about IIPT, and listening to Gail. Memories go back to when we established the Australian chapter with Daphne Lloyd Clay, and then the work we did with Lou in Turkey between Greek tourism and Turkish tourism. And my passion from the time that we were in Australia was how we can reach the traveler. How can we educate the traveler about peace through tourism? Because I was myself a traveler and very much inspired by IIPT. So I continue to have this vision, and I'd like to share my screen now to give you an update of how the project is going. It's a new project I started, I presented last time we were together. And the idea of how to, it's a big vision. It's not an easy one, and I need, and we will need all the support we can get from the members with ideas and coming forward to support it. But as you know, travelers use online platforms to make their travel arrangements. And I believe that peace tourism deserves its own platform, and this is the idea behind it. When it comes to education, I was pleased during the forum before last time to also come across another peaceful traveler initiative, the Way of the Peaceful Traveler. It's a book that I read and I was excited about, and I'm excited about. It's got to do with education and with the work that our friends and young students in Italy are doing. It's a very good reference book for them to refer to in their research to promote the work of IIPT. The online booking platform idea is to present good practices by connecting the travelers with travel providers. And for that, the challenge is to be able to have a booking platform, the technology, and possibly Fabio's friend who has helped with the website might be lending us a helping hand here to see how we can have this kind of platform in order to host the services and the initiatives that promote peace through tourism. So in summary, because I'm very aware of time, I made the list of the expertise that this project will need. I leave it here for a few minutes in case somebody wants to make a note. It's a long list, but IIPT was established over 35 years and continues to exist. So I'm in no hurry myself. This project could take its own organic development, and I will be very happy to take a leadership role in making it happen. Another aspect, except for the technology side of things, is also a funding prospect, because this kind of visions and this kind of projects don't happen, without the support, financial support. So again, that's something that needs to be considered. And again, the technology. So I'm gonna finish my presentation as required by giving my details and a request to all the group. I'm part of Key Tours Vacations, which is a company that I work for, but this is my work. My IIPT involvement is a personal involvement. It has happened that my business email has been distributed through IIPT. So I would ask kindly everybody if you use my personal email, because of our company policy that I can only do business for Key Tours in this aspect. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to revisit this concept. And I'm inviting everybody to contact me and discuss further the options. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andres. That's really an exciting initiative, and we look forward to having ongoing discussions with you going forward as this is being built out. So thank you for sharing that with us, Andres. I just wanted to make sure that Ms. Nikki Rose is with us. I wasn't able to access the list during Andrea's presentation. But
hi, Timothy. Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful. So we want to welcome you. Ms. Rose is a very valuable and wonderful member of the IIPT family, and she's going to be talking to us about peace with food. Sister Nikki.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here. So knowing exactly where our food comes from opens up bigger questions, whether we're shopping down the street or around the world. Crete, in particular, is blessed with amazing history, natural beauty, and cuisine, but there's so much to enjoy, and there's also a lot to protect. There's no question now, I would hope everyone knows, that industrial agriculture is toxic to all species. It destroys our land, our clean water, air, and resilient societies. During our decades of work here in Crete, teaching many thousands of students about our culture and nature and cuisine, and our upcoming documentary, we address these problems and also share solutions. It is crucial to hear local stories, and solutions and share this knowledge around the world. These are global issues told from local communities. So our documentary is phase one of a bigger project to collaborate with heritage protectors around the world and related organizations. We already have many collaboration alliances in place. So this relates to peace through tourism, because if people are struggling due to lack of access to land to grow safe food, lack of access to safe food in general, contaminated land and water, deforestation, biodiversity loss, and climate crises, there is nothing left for residents or travelers. So we have to bear this in mind. All forms of sustainable tourism must be linked to sustainable organic farming. This is the way forward. We cannot have one without the other. So we need to inspire young organic farmers. We need to make sure they make a good living, providing us with the food that we need to survive and thrive every day. To make peace with food, we must make peace with nature. Future generations depend on the decisions we make today. So our documentary will be used as a teaching tool around the world. I'm speaking at many organic farming conferences coming up, and also at universities. We're developing a syllabus for using our documentary, and then also other information from around the world, from doctors, biologists, archaeologists, to pull this bigger picture together and say, okay, this is more than just food. This is a means to protect our communities for generations to come. So more to come, more information to come soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nikki. Before I call on our next presenter, I just want to acknowledge an old dear friend of Lou's and mine's, Mr. Linwood Sloan, who has joined us, and the three of us have known each other for decades, and Linwood has done an amazing job of facilitating, creating, building, developing an IIPT Peace Promenade in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and has an incredible historical, African-American historical sculpture garden on the grounds of the Pennsylvania State Capitol. I'm going to call on him a little bit later when we open up for comments, but he's a very dear friend, and I couldn't have him to come on here and us not recognize Mr. Linwood Sloan. All right, so we want to now call on Ms. Silverado Socrates, who's president of our chapter in British Columbia. Lou gave you so many wonderful details about her great accomplishments. So I will just yield the floor to Ms. Socrates.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is a complete surprise, so perhaps I missed the memo, but I've been greatly honored to have found out about this organization. I believe it was 2010, the fall of 2010. A student from UBCO told me about it. It came up in conversation. He was interviewing me about the future of agritourism. As we spoke, he saw the passion I had for an area that was near me. And he said, you should know about this organization. I immediately looked it up when we were done and found out they were doing a world conference in Africa, in Zambia, later on in the spring. So it was through my conversation with Mr. Lamar that I learned it was founded in Canada, in BC, and yet we didn't have a chapter. So it became a vision of mine to have to go to this conference. And I want to speak about the magic of the Okanagan. I got this idea. Magic is a horse of mine. He used to smile for people. And in fact, I've got him on this. I don't know if you can see that smiling horse, but that's not photoshopped, it's real. And I had this idea of Discover Magic of the Okanagan Valley of Supernatural BC. And that came into a song, Discover Magic, which got recorded before I went to Africa. And then some people from a community, what would you call that? There was a local delegate there in Zambia, and she invited me to her community. And just so happened I planned an extra week because there's no way I'm going to Africa without spending some extra time to check it out. And then organically enough, there was a school group that lived, well, there was a school next to where I was staying. I was staying at the King's Guest House, which was operated by a member of Rotary. He has since passed on. Last year he passed on, bless him. But there's a teacher I met that operated tourism and guided tours in the park nearby. They had pictographs there. So he gave me a tour. I got to know the kids. I heard them singing to a local delegate, and I was like, oh my gosh, could they learn one of my songs? And they ended up learning it and performing it at the King's Guest House. And then later they performed another song in another park at a waterfall. So it was a very organic and magical thing. In any case, I'm working to establish a chapter here in BC. We're more busy than there, and it's not so exciting because there's so many exciting things. However, there is a place, we're working on a rail trail, and there's a lot of people that just want to bike and do electric bikes and everything and just speed. And I'm trying to get people to slow down. So maybe more like a pilgrimage type thing and really learn about the local cultures in each community. So there's a word going on that I love that idea of not just catering to the big hotel chains, but looking at that smaller scale, not the B&B, but someone mentioned something. I wrote down the word, but I really like that idea of living with local people, especially Indigenous. So incorporating the settler and Indigenous history. I think I spoke more than 3.5 minutes, but thank you for allowing me to say something because I'm excited. This is our year here.
It is. It really is. Thank you so much, Ms. Socrates. Lou and I were talking about how much we love your name, Silverado Socrates. Now that's a name right there. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do and all that you've been doing with us for quite some time. And we're excited about some of the developments to take place in the British Columbia chapter. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Now, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from our founder and our president, Lou D'Amore, and he needs no introduction, but suffice it to say that it has been Lou's vision, hard work, tenacity, brilliance, heart, and spirit that not only created the Institute, but has kept us together as a family for 35 years. There's very few people who can put out a call a week in advance and have people from all over the world to show up for the meeting. And that's Lou D'Amore. That's who he is. So we will now hear from our president and our founder, Mr. Lou D'Amore, talking about Global Peace Parks projects and some of the other initiatives that he's going to share with you. Brother Lou.
Hello, Brother Tim. Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm going to be very brief because we do want to leave a bit of time for people to make their comments. I'm seeing a number of good friends that I'm sure have something to contribute. I'll begin with talking about our Global Peace Parks project. That's my main goal for the coming year. We currently have 450 peace parks around the world. There's one on each of 6 continents. Only Antarctica doesn't have a peace park, yet at least one. In many continents, several. Some of the noteworthy peace parks are Bethany Beyond the Jordan, the birthplace of Christ, Victoria Falls, which was rededicated with Dr. Rafai as the featured event of the opening day of the 20th UNWTO General Assembly and also Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, the first president of Zambia. And then again in Medellin, Colombia, on the first day of the 21st UNWTO General Assembly, Dr. Rafai with the Minister of Tourism, we dedicated a peace park. A few others are the Uganda Martyrs Trail, Sun River National Park, which was dedicated following the General Assembly in Chengdu. It's an international park with great prominence in China. And then later that year, we dedicated a peace town called Danzaiwanda. It's a town that was specifically dedicated for tourism in one of the poorest provinces of China to help reduce poverty. In 3 years, they've achieved some 20 million visitors, and the county of Wanda has totally eliminated poverty. It's a great success story. And I'd like to welcome our good friend Lenwood as well. He has done marvelous work as the catalytic agent of Harrisburg with the Peace Promenade dedicated along the Susquehanna River, some 2.5 miles. And following the dedication, virtually every month, another event was held. And then most recently, a major dedication, which maybe Lenwood would tell us a little bit about. So
It's Michelle's mother's 98th birthday, just so you know. You might want to, Michelle Allard, mother's 98th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for mentioning that. So yes, if Len would tell us a little bit about his most recent activity there. And another initiative I'm involved with and before I leave that, anyone who can help develop peace parks in their community or have ideas as to key organizations that can partner with us in peace park dedications. My goal is to achieve 1,000 peace parks by the end of this year. Another initiative I'm involved with in terms of thinking globally, acting locally, is here in Utica, New York, my hometown that I've returned to after some 60 years. It's a town of 60,000 people. 20,000 of those persons are immigrants, and mostly immigrants from countries that have experienced violence. Bosnia, Somalia, Vietnam, Burma, and others. Some 42 languages are spoken in Utica. And with that dedication, I'm hoping to make Utica a model of welcoming immigrants, given the critical situation with some 80 million refugees around the world. Many of them in Jordan, as we've heard from Don. And very briefly, the third initiative is collaborating with our good friend, John Dixon, who is head of a working group of the World Peace Foundation. And with John, we're looking at the role of tourism, culture, and sport in fostering unity in the North Korean, in the Korean Peninsula. And several of our partners will be involved with us, particularly Steve DeVos of Global Sports Partners, our new Global Peace Ambassador, Philippe Francois, and Riza with his tour to North Korea. So with that, Tim, maybe we can get to some other people contributing to the session.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was just going through the list, and I wanted to see if a couple of our advisory board members are still with us. Mr. Zimmer, Ms. Mann, or Ms. Kathy Sudeikis, would you please open up? What we'd like to do now is we have now concluded all of the formal presentations on all of the projects that IIPT will be engaging in 2021. And what we want to do now is to open up the floor for discussion, questions, contributions, ideas, and any just reflections. So before we, I thought it would be appropriate, Lou and I thought it would be appropriate for us to begin with advisory board members with any thoughts that any of you might have. So Mr. Zimmer, Ms. Mann, Ms. Sudeikis.
I'll jump in here for you. I have to say, first of all, thank you so much for always including us in these conferences. I learned so much about the entire world. And I have to say how proud I am and impressed I am that we are all using this COVID downtime to regroup and to grow the kinds of the pieces of our business that are so labor intensive, but we never have time for when we're busy doing our regular jobs. So this has been an interesting discussion. I want to tell you from the sales perspective, being a travel agent actually, and in the Midwest of the United States, people are itching to get back on the road. And we have rolled everything over from 2020, March and beyond, into 2021. People are holding on to their requests for 2021 and only reluctantly in the process of switching, especially cruises, to 2022. And I thought the most telling thing that has happened lately is that Oceania announced a 100-day round the world cruise for 2022, the first quarter, and it sold out in 48 hours. So business will be back to all of you, and it's so important for us to provide the tourists for your cottage industries and destinations and for the growth of these kinds of things. The Peace Park is such a hit and such a winner. I think that's such a great place to start for so many of us. Thank you again, Lou and Tim.
Thank you very much. What was that, Kathy? We didn't
It
see
was
you.
Kathy.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's fantastic. I can still remember having a dinner with your husband and you and Don King and all the great memories that we went through during that dinner. I see Jovan Popescu, who's been very faithful to us for many years, and he can give us an Eastern Europe perspective. Jovan, would you like to say anything?
Yes, this is really my privilege to be with you tonight or today. I'm with Lou and IIPT for almost 30 years from Montreal Conference. And I'm from Belgrade, Serbia, university professor and president of one organization related to sustainable tourism development. And we are intending, and we are very near to form a Serbian chapter. It will be much better if it could be Balkan chapter, for example. We have a lot to know and to have a lot of researches about peace and tourism in this part of the world. And it is really, I have ideas what will be interesting to do in the future related to peace and tourism, and so on, peace park. So I hope, really hope, and I will do my best to join my efforts and efforts with my colleagues and friends to achieve all the goals of IIPT. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivan. Look forward to communicating with you further.
Yes, thank you.
Lenwood, would you like to tell us what you're up to as the catalytic agent of Harrisburg in Pennsylvania?
Thank you very much. It is truly a privilege to be with you and to share a conversation from around the world. We are perhaps IIPT's youngest and smallest organization. We are a ground up people's project in the center, in the heart of Pennsylvania. I love those "you are here" maps in the airport. So Pennsylvania is the fourth most popular destination in the Mid-Atlantic region for tourism. We are an 8.5-hour drive from 51% of the population of the United States. Harrisburg is exactly in the center of the state between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, and it is 35 miles from the Mason-Dixon line, and so many people enter the state by driving north and entering from Maryland, and Harrisburg is their first stop. 44% of the visitors to Harrisburg stay with friends and relatives. They are called VFRs. You know, that simply means visiting friends and relatives. They sleep on your futon, they sleep on your floor, they bring their air mattress, they stay on the fold-out sofa, and that makes every household in the 44% of Pennsylvania's tourism a destination manager, a concierge desk, telling their friends and relatives where to go. So we have launched an education program for a Proud to Call It Home initiative for individual households. We were asked to establish a peace park, and we chose the 4-mile-long riverfront park, of which 2.5 miles of it is a sculpture garden right in the center of the National Rails and Trails track. 4 miles of park that is 1 block wide with a sculpture garden in the middle. Many of the sculptures were placed there. And the individuals who placed them there have either aged out or their individual families have transitioned from life, and the sculptures were foster children. So we established a restoration, conservation, and preservation program with the monuments, and an education and investigation project with the neighborhoods that are adjacent to the riverfront. The community's 12 major festivals, one each month, are on the riverfront. So 150,000 people visit the riverfront. We refer to it as the neutral ground. Our program is called Peace Like a River, and we use the theme of peace and the river as a way of engaging people into dialogues about the Holocaust, about Hiroshima, about World War I and II. As we finished our first 2 years, we came into the IIPT in 2016. We discovered that there was no African American monument on the river. And so we placed a sculpture garden, as Tim mentioned, on the Capitol grounds, the first African American monument on the Capitol, in honor of the 150th anniversary of the 15th Amendment in the United States, African Americans the right to vote. We dedicated that monument this year. In the COVID consciousness and in the COVID pandemic, we were able to still complete the installation of 4 life-size bronze figures in an iconic pedestal with the names of 100 African Americans who used to live on the grounds where the Capitol is. I'll end by saying, when we reviewed the IIPT call,
You're muted. You're muted. Mr. Stone, you're muted.
I'm
You're
sorry.
muted. Yes.
I don't know where I stopped, but I'll end by saying we realized that we had not planted 12 trees as many communities had done. And so we created a peace grove along the river where we have planted 12 trees in honor of 12 Pennsylvania peacemakers, and we planted 100-year-old oaks. And that peace grove is a meditation grove for visitors along the river. So we are not a government organization. We are a ground up people's movement. We are what is called a Quango in America, a quasi-autonomous non-government organization, a coalition of 200 individuals.
Thanks very much, Linwood. I see our good friend Ben Sherman. Ben, would you like to share your thoughts in terms of, I know you've been working with WINTA quite a bit, but your ideas in terms of integrating the Peace Through Tourism movement and what you've heard today within the Indigenous community in the US and globally through WINTA. Ben, unmute yourself. Ben, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Lou.
There you go.
It's always good to see and hear you. And Timothy, thank you for chairing this meeting. I'm still the chair of the World Indigenous Tourism Alliance, and we have a brand of tourism among Indigenous people that is famous for hospitality and spreading goodwill. You know, as the original inhabitants of our landscapes, we feel that we represent Mother Earth and do everything that we can to represent her well, and welcoming visitors as representatives of Mother Earth. Lou, I realize that when you first started this effort, you honored the peacemaker who was an Indigenous leader.
You're absolutely right.
And if you want to say something about that, feel free to do so. I don't know all the details of it, but I think that was excellent that you did that. Was that in your very first meeting in Canada?
The big presentation of the Peacekeeper was at our second global conference in Montreal, where we had an elder from Tyendinaga, the birthplace of the peacemaker, join with us in a peace pipe ceremony and the dedication of a white pine, which was the tree of peace that was planted by the peacemaker.
Yes.
I don't want to take up much more time, but that was just a phenomenal event. And we also honored the Kanawaki Reserve across the river from Montreal. In an interfaith service, they were the first presenters, the Longhouse, a representative of the Longhouse.
Yes. And one of the things that I like about your activities and events, and this is especially true of Timothy, is that you take your prayers as well. You honor the Creator, the Great Spirit, and I think that is important too for promoting peace in the world. And that is, of course, something that our Indigenous people do at every opportunity, is to pray and honor the Creator. So with that, thank you, Lou. I wish you all the best for yourself.
Thank you very much, Ben. And I see B. Broda. Are you still there, B?
Actually, yes, I am.
Okay, great. Thanks for hanging in there.
Okay, I actually have an appointment at 1, but I just want to quickly say, and I wrote there, I promise that I'm going to, over my dead body, organize a peace park here in San Felipe, Mexico. And I've done the first step, which is finding out who, when I contact. And it's been difficult because San Felipe is a suburb of Mexicali. Okay. And it's a 2-hour drive through the desert between the town and San Felipe. So to find out who that is, and I kind of picked out a perfect park, and then I'm told that it's a sacred burial spot So I can't, but I've come a long way in organizing this, and I will do that for you, Lou, in honor of you and Peace Through Tourism. I will do this. So I also wanted to say, when I was president of SATW, I really, really was trying to introduce Peace Through Tourism to the members. And I'd have to say that it's more relevant now. People seem to be understanding what was meant by it. But what's happened is the concept has given rise to a new group called DEIA within SATW, and that stands for Diversity, Equality, Inclusion, and Accessibility. And it's a group that's trying to ensure that tourism becomes an equal experience for all people, regardless of race, religion, level of physical activity, just everything. So and Peace Through Tourism has come up, and we have some members that are that have been interested in and involved in Peace Through Tourism. So as such, I'm also on the professional development committee to obtain speakers on any of these topics for our upcoming convention. And I've already actually put forward a couple names from this group to speak at it. But if anybody feels that they have something to present under the auspices of one of those categories, please do get in touch with me, because I think this is one of the most inspiring groups in the world. And it would be nice to get that message flowing through.
Thank you so much, Bea, and you've been such an important part of it at so many of our different conferences. Let me say that I want to give you a phone call to talk about a couple of things. So send me an email and let me have your current phone number, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, another thing I just wanted to say too, I thought it was great to hear about the olive oil trekking route from Gail. I was just there. If you watch my show on Turkey, it's there. It's actually in the show.
Fantastic,
and
fantastic.
We interviewed the woman who's the wife, actually, and they have spent 30 years personally spending all of their money on anything they could find that had anything to do with the history of the olive oil industry in Turkey. And it's a beautiful spot, and it's fully organic. And my guide is their best friend. So
Wow.
if she needs boots on the ground, I can connect her with Yashar. So that was an incident.
With Gail, yes. Please send us the link to that part of your program.
Sure, I will do that. And now I must run because I have a front wheel bearing that's going to get me in an accident on the way back to the US.
Okay, wonderful. Send me your current phone number. We'll be in touch.
Okay, thanks, Lou.
Wonderful.
Thanks, everyone.
And I see Kathy Pond, also a longtime friend and very involved with the guide community. Kathy, would you like to come in?
Well, hi. This has been so inspiring, as it always is. Lou and I do go way back. I was at the Vancouver conference, and then the Jordan one, and Johannesburg. I'm really excited about the Peace Parks and Linwood. I grew up really near Harrisburg. And if you don't mind, I'm going to be contacting you to just get your sense of how I'm blown away by what you've done, all those bronze sculptures and miles. I mean, that is just extraordinary. And I would love to see that park. And I live in Charlottesville, Virginia. So considering our, we've become internationally known in ways, just for what happened here in 2017. I mean, I think we're ripe for a peace park here, especially because we're making way, taking away eventually, hopefully, our Confederate sculptures. It's such an obvious, great place for a peace park. Also nearby Yogaville, it's called Yogaville, it's in the center of the state, is another place that I've talked to some people there, and it's about an hour away from Charlottesville. So, and Lou, I just have one question for you. You said your goal is to have 1,000 parks. How many are there right now?
We have 450. with at least one on every all 6 continents except Antarctica. Yeah, 350 of those are from our Canada Peace Parks Across Canada project as part of Canada's 125th anniversary. So let's talk more about a peace park in Charlottesville. That would be fantastic.
Okay. And Linwood, I'm going to look up I'll get your information from Lou, and if you don't mind, I'd love to talk.
I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I see.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Lou.
God bless.
Love.
I see Judy Karwacki's name. I don't see your photo. Are you there, Judy? You would need to unmute.
Hi, I need a haircut badly, so I don't have my video on because I just hate my hair right now.
But Judy's been a long time member of the family and always making a great contribution.
Yeah, and sorry about, I was just talking to my husband for a minute there. His friend was telling me that it was his mother's 98th birthday, and so I mentioned that. I think that happened in the middle of Lou's talk. Yeah, I've been involved with IIPT for a long time. Been at the conferences in Jamaica and Zambia and South Africa and Thailand. And in 3 of those conferences with Lou and Ben and things we've done Indigenous panels. And Diane, of course, has been involved in those. And like Diane, I'm a community tourism specialist. I do a lot of work in that area, working on a project with the Inter-American Development Bank right now that involves 5 countries. And I work with the World Bank in Jamaica in that topics since 2011, I guess, also in Cabo Verde. So I've tried to have Lou come and speak at the Adventure Travel Trade Association conference, which I think is a really important venue because it have over 1,000 members from 120 countries, I believe it is. And so far that hasn't happened, but that's something I'm going to try again for this year. The conference is going to be in Japan. And I think it's a really good year for it, especially with regenerative tourism and all of these things. So that'll be one of the things I will try to do. Also, the other thing with this new World Bank project in Jamaica, or I should say the new phase, it's the second 5-year phase of a 10-year project. This year we're going to get into marketing. This time we're going to get into marketing more. So I'd love to see these community tourism enterprises and to have some kind of an initiative with IIPT through that. So those will be the things that I will try to focus on this year. Great to be here. Great to see everybody and to hear about everything that's going on around the world, and all led by our wonderful Lou and the whole group, Timothy and the board. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Look forward to hearing from you.
Okay.
And John Dixon has been with us all through the session. John is organizing tourism, culture, and sport conference for unity on the North Korean Peninsula. John, would you like to say a few words?
Well, yeah, hi, Lou and everyone. Timothy, I don't know if you remember, we were together at the UN a few times last year. I'm very excited to see the development of IIPT. I read about Lou in the 90s, I think, in the last issue of the World and I magazine, and I was fascinated then. I was in Okinawa at that time and working with the Department of Tourism of Okinawa Prefecture then, and that was my introduction to it. I've been peripherally involved and worked a lot with the indigenous communities also here. There's so many Velcro points here. And Linwood, I live in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, not very far from you. I get over to Harrisburg from time to time, and I'm sorry I missed the dedication there, but I definitely going to stop by and see you. And there's so many inspiring people here, and especially Talib, to be with you on the panel. Your incredible effort with the UN, WTO, and just Lou for 35 years carrying this vision. It's that has inspired and lit up so many people. It's always inspiring to be here and to see really the power of grassroots and the bottom up development. So I anyhow, thank you, and I love you, and God bless this great work. Thank you.
I don't know if we've missed anyone. Is there anyone else that would like to comment? And then I'll turn it back over to Brother Tim, who will ask Taleb to say a few words. Anyone else?
Before everybody, leaves, I'd just like to tell you about something that we've been doing for the last 5 years at ITB, which is an award called Celebrating Her, for women who were exceptional women in the fields of travel and tourism and hospitality. And this year, of course, it's got to be a virtual thing because ITB is virtual. So it's going to be on the 9th of March, German time, 3 o'clock to 3:30. So if any of you are registering for the ITB virtual thing, please do mark it on your calendars. And if you're not, unfortunately, ITB is not going to open it out to everybody. You need to register for ITB in order to be able to participate in the convention. But if you don't, well, it's going to be on the ITB YouTube channel again. So this is the 5th year running. We went through the whole process. Dr. Rifai was on the jury, and so was Lou. And we had our 3 winners selected for last year, and we couldn't do it because of COVID. So it's gone into this year. But it's the 9th of March, one day after the International Women's Day. So just mark it. And if you're there, please do attend. Thank you.
That's great, Ajay. Maybe you could send us all an email confirming the dates and time.
I'll do that, Lou. I'll do that.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you allow me just to say something real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, okay. No, thank you very much. I wanted to remind everyone, a lot of you are also part of the World Tourism Network we're starting, and we had 2 events with IIPT. And at that time, we started an interest group for peace through tourism, what extends the reach of what you're doing. And I wanted to remind everyone and invite everyone to contribute to this interest group. We will publish it. It's going to be on the rebuilding.travel website. And if you're a member of WTN, you can easily actually be part of this group. And hopefully it can get a lot of awareness of all these fantastic initiatives discussed today, and also get more awareness out for peace parks. And Louis is leading this interest group. So I just wanted to remind everybody.
Thanks for that, Thomas.
Okay. So thank you all for really wonderful contributions throughout the day. This has really been an awesome day. And what we'd like to do now is to ask Dr. Rifai to begin to close us out. We're going to have some final words from Dr. Rifai and Lou. And Dr. Rifai, we'd like to get your thoughts on all that has taken place here today, and any other thoughts in general that you want to share with us.
Thank you so much, Timothy. You know, the only thought that comes to my mind now is Lou Damori, this very unique person that we're all gathered because of him here. I remember, my memory goes back to the year 2000, 20 years ago, when I first met Lou. He was in the conference on the Bethany Beyond Jordan. It was the year 2000 when we opened our first, I think, Lou, if I'm not mistaken, Peace Park in Jordan. I was still there. I was not in charge of tourism. I didn't know anything about tourism at the time. I was Minister of Information. I had a different portfolio altogether. It was Akil Biltaji, my colleague and friend, who could not be with us tonight because he has COVID tonight. He's at the hospital. We all should wish him the best. But then I met Lou. I was impressed by Lou right from the beginning. Now today, I have a very special feeling. I think we should dedicate the last word for Lou, because his leadership has led us to all of this. His leadership is very unique. When you look at this family that he's gathered around, it's a family of people that do things on their own. He doesn't interfere in everything. I know, Lou, it's not easy to lead like this, but you're a great leader. You have managed to have people respect you from afar, and you listen to all of this initiatives taking place under your name. You just encourage them from a distance. It's a new style of leadership. It's a wonderful leadership because everybody works under your umbrella, but they do their own bits. Anybody can do anything that contributes to peace. We'll talk today about community. We talked about food. We talked about entrepreneurship. We talked about indigenous people. We talked about so many things. Anybody can do anything connected to peace and get the blessing of Lou D'Amore. Lou, my last words are for you. Thank you for your leadership. I know exactly what that means. When I became Secretary General of UNWTO, great respect for you. I still do. Tonight more than ever, I feel that everybody paying tribute to you. We're all doing this thing for you, Lou. I hope we reach the 1,000 parks. My call is for everybody. Let's fulfill Lou's dream. 1 to 1,000 peace parks. Let's do it while we're all still alive and kicking. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Lou, for everything you have done. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rafai. Well, I tell you, I'm a Baptist deacon, and we have a saying: "Let the church say Amen." So that's
right.
that's just from the heart. And you spoke eloquently, Dr. Rafai, about what all of us feel and what all of us think. So, and to be the chairman of our International Advisory Board, it carries great weight. So we're very grateful to you.
We're all here because of Lou.
Yes,
Believe me, we're all here because of Lou.
Yes, sir. We're very clear. We're very clear. All
Thank
right.
you.
So without further ado, Brother Lou, please close us out.
Well, I thank everyone for being with us today. It really is encouraging to see the enthusiasm of every speaker and your interest in personally doing something to build a culture of peace through tourism. The vision with which IIPT was born was to make travel and tourism the world's first global peace industry, and the belief that every traveler is potentially an ambassador for peace. I think with the people that we've had here today and others who will join us in the future, I think we're on a way to making this vision a reality. And Dr. Rafai, some of my greatest memories are being with you during your period of being Secretary General UNWTO for 8 years. And one of my proudest moments is the photo we had together after signing the MOU between
That's right.
UNWTO and myself. And particularly, I remember the helicopter ride we had together in Sri Lanka, where I asked
That's right.
you if you would be chairman of our International Advisory Board, and you accepted very graciously. So Taleb, I can't say how much we appreciate your being with us and all you've done for tourism. Generally, you brought the leaders of the industry together during your leadership, and it was the greatest global tourism period of any time that I can remember in my some 50 years of being involved in tourism. You were a great model of a leader, Taleb, and we're so honored to have you with us. And again, thank you to everyone. Thanks to Thomas for hosting us. And Brother Tim, it was a great job of moderating. Thank you.
Tim,
Thank you.
you're a great
Thank
brother,
you.
Tim.
Thank you. Well,
Thank
that's it,
you.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you
Farewell
so
going.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Anyone,
Thank you.
this
Thank you.
recording,
Thank you.
wanted to
Happy Valentine's.
the link.
Okay.
Happy Valentine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ajay.
Thank you so
Ajay.
much.
Happy Valentine
Thank
to
you.
Ajay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
Philip.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye to him.
Fun.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jorgen.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you, my
Tom.
dear.
Excellent.
You guys gonna get the recording? Everyone's emails I have, we're gonna send recording to you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.